You find a song, you listen to it for the first time, and you become hooked to it. It's your new favorite. You add it to your playlist. You want to hear it again, so you replay it and play it and play it and play it. It's like a reflex. You don't even think about it. You replay it and listen to it so much for the next couple of days to a week, depending how much you like the song, of course, until you ruin it. You overdo it. Now, this may seem unrelated to your life, but let me explain. This song that you overplay, it represents three things. One of them that affects what we do every day with what we choose to do. And if you get this wrong, it could ruin everything that you enjoy to do. The three things are impulse control, instant gratification, and overstimulation. I'm sure you've heard of overstimulation by this point. It's talked about everywhere by everyone. Basically, if you do stimulating activities too much, it's bad. It ruins what you do and your dopamine balance. I'm not gonna talk about it anymore in this video. There's plenty of videos out there. But overstimulation is the result of our level of impulse control or lack of, with the instantly gratifying things that we do. We've all heard it before, drugs and alcohol, instant gratifying things we know are bad for us.
Julian!
But what about the instant gratification that we get from the hobbies and activities that we do that aren't as bad for us? What about when we watch a show we really like and then end up binging a whole season in one night? We play a video game and end up playing a lot longer than we had planned. Or social media usage, shopping impulses, something I really struggle with thanks to Amazon. The problem is that tunnel vision that we get from the hobby or activity that we do for enjoyment. We press replay on it until we've done the damage and it's too late. Sometimes we let it control us. And then even worse, you get burnt out from the thing because you've overdone it so much and now you're bored of it. And then sometimes if you're like me, then you go to the next thing and do that to replace the thing that you burnt out until you burn that out, and then you repeat. So how do we become better at our impulse control with hobbies that we still want to do and enjoy? Because this video isn't supposed to scare you away from them, and if anything, get even more enjoyment out of it long term. So how do we control our impulse control? This is gonna sound pretty cliche, but like most things in life, it's a skill. We just don't flex the impulse control part of our brain sometimes when we should. We do for other things, but not for when we end up binging and staying up till 3 a.m. watching TikToks. Specifically, the basal ganglia, basal ganglia, which is what controls our thoughts and actions we think and do. Now, imagine the typical parent scenario when you're a little kid trying to play video games or screens. Mom and dad say, no more video games after 9:30, and then you sulk a little bit, you know, the typical little kid.
What?
But if they didn't say that, we stay up way later than we should. But the thing is, we're much more forced into impulse control, especially when we're kids. So now when you're much more on your own and aren't being watched and supervised, no one's telling you you can't. If anything, we want to do it even more. So let's try to do things a little differently. You're probably still gonna have to force yourself some, but why we don't learn impulse control from our parents sometimes can be because we don't really have reasons to care enough. There's three main ways that you can work on your impulse control. The first one, be more self-aware and understand your motivations. Recognize when you're overdoing it. Pay attention to your thoughts, your feelings, and behaviors to recognize why you do overexposure to the thing. Focus on the why. Maybe you're mentally escaping and want something to distract you. It could be that you're like me and have a habit of getting into tunnel vision of what you're into at the time. You just enjoy it that much. Recognize why it happens, because you can't fix it if you don't know the reason and problem for why it happens. The next one is to tell yourself logical thoughts and statements. Give yourself reasons to taking control serious. Have a conversation with yourself. Highlight the consequences. It might help to think of like you're talking to a friend or even a parent to your kid or pretend kid, because with the logic, we need to be as objective as possible and see things for what they really are. Oh, why are you still up?
On my phone?
Should you be? You work early.
Probably not.
Go to bed then.
Oh, okay. I guess. What the?
And lastly, probably the most basic one, but it can be easy to forget sometimes. It's more of a reminder, but remember to take breaks. Whether it's taking a day or two off from the activity or simply pausing for a second and just doing it later, you'll avoid the burnout of overdoing the thing. And set time limits if you need to. If you can learn to be bored a little and be more creative with not just doing the thing over and over that you find enjoyable, long term, you're gonna be getting much more productive enjoyment. That's it for this video. Thank you guys so much if you made it to the end of this video. I really struggle with this. Any new song I like, I always overplay it. So trust me, I know and can tell you that it's gonna be hard, but like anything, look for progress and just see how you're doing with your impulse control long term. If you found this video helpful and enjoyed it, consider liking this video. It would help me out a lot. And if you're new and this is your first time here, subscribe if you'd like to see much more content like this. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Also, thank you guys for over 400 subscribers. Seriously, I appreciate you all. I'll see you next time.